He has real good head movement. He also throws some of the best combinations in the middleweight division. He can put together a 5, 6, 7 punch combination, but he walks his opponents down and he lands knees, elbows, and punches from all kind of angles. Okay, we're back with another video. Please like and subscribe. This right here is a fight prediction for UFC Paris, and it's Nassourdine Imavov versus Joaquin Buckley. Nassourdine Imavov, he's one of Ciryl Gane's sparring partners. I'm a little impressed with Nassourdine. He's tall, he's 6'3", his reach is 75. He fights longer than 6'3" though. He constantly moves around, he constantly circles around. He has some athleticism, and one thing I like about him the most is the fact that he has a high finishing rate. He's 11-3. 5 of his wins come by knockout, 4 of his wins come by submission, 2 of his wins come by decision, 1 loss come by submission, which was early on in his career in his first fight, and 2 of his losses come by decision. He fights on the outside. He has real good head movement. He also throws some of the best combinations in the middleweight division. He can put together a 5, 6, 7 punch combination, but he walks his opponents down and he lands knees, elbows, and punches from all kind of angles. But he also mixes up his takedowns with his striking. There's something about Nassourdine's game that's underrated. We know that from his fight against Edmund. Yes, he was destroying Edmund on the feet. He also was attempting takedowns and was attempting submissions too. But he was able to take Edmund down in the second round and get him in a crucifix and finish him from strikes. Edmund looked real tough and he showed a lot of heart because he wasn't out and he was still trying to fight, but he was in a bad position and he was taking a lot of damage. I'm somewhat impressed with Nassourdine's striking, but I'm more impressed with this ability to mix in the striking with the wrestling. I think that's what separates him from a lot of other guys in the middleweight division. But that's the thing, like Nassourdine, he's ranked number 12 in the middleweight division, but the toughest opponent he beat was Edmund, and Edmund has lost 3 fights in a row. He was undefeated prior to that, but he's still on a 3-fight losing streak, and the only fight he didn't get finished in was the Jack Hermanson fight, but he took a lot of damage to fight and he almost got finished. Another tough opponent he beat was Yanan, but that fight, something was off with him that fight, because we've never seen Yanan knocked out. But Nassourdine was able to stay on the outside, fight long. He was able to catch Yanan from the outside, back him up against the cage, and unload on him, and eventually get the finish in the second round. I think Nassourdine may be a little bit overrated. He's ranked number 12 in the middleweight division, but the people ranked ahead of him is Kevin Gastelum, Andre Muniz, and Darren Till. I don't think he's better than none of those guys. And I don't think he's going to be in the top 15 for long, because you're in the top 15 in the UFC's middleweight division, and your toughest opponent he beat was Edmund Shabazian, who's on a bit of a drought right now. So he hasn't really been in there with somebody who he can't take down and outstrike. Fortunately for us, he's fighting against Joaquin Buckley. It's weird because Joaquin won 5 of his last 6 fights, but he's still not in the top 15 of the UFC's middleweight division. Joaquin Buckley, southpaw, very dangerous. He has tremendous knockout power in his left hand. What we're starting to see from Joaquin is him getting better at his angles, his footwork, and his cardio. Joaquin Buckley, he's 15-4, 11 wins by knockout, 0 by submission, 4 by decision. One thing that scares me about Joaquin is the fact that he has 3 knockout losses. So 3 losses by knockout and 1 loss by decision. His last knockout loss came to Alessio Di Chirico. In this fight, it looked like Joaquin Buckley kept on bobbing and weaving. It looked like he tried to duck underneath a punch and got caught with a head kick he didn't see coming. It looked like that knockout loss made him a better fighter because he's more patient than he was in prior fights. Because before, he would just walk guys down, unload on them until he knocked them out. His loss before that came against Kevin Holland. He took the fight on short notice, but Kevin was able to stay on the outside and just catch him coming in repeatedly until he got the finish in the 3rd round. But that's the thing, he lost to Kevin Holland on short notice, and he lost to Alessio Di Chirico. But then Alessio went on to lose his last fight by knockout the same way he beat Joaquin. So Alessio's next fight, he fought Abdul Al-Hassan, and he got head kicked and knocked out in the 1st round. It makes you think though, I know there's no luck in MMA, but it makes you think though, was that knockout a fluke? I don't think Nassourdine is on the same level as Joaquin Buckley. He just hasn't fought anybody yet. This is his first real test in the UFC against a competitive fighter. This fight, we're going to see how good Nassourdine's chin is. What we're going to see is Nassourdine a true top 15 fighter in the middleweight division of the UFC. But my prediction is I'm going to go with Joaquin Buckley, 2nd round knockout. Please like and subscribe.